that now you're the old veteran? I mean, how do you handle that? Do you take a leadership role? What are you doing?
I mean, I'll say I took a leadership role for sure because obviously I'm one of the older ones now. So now I got the job to help the younger ones, help them figure out what they need to do and how to help them get on the court. So I take pride in that role. It means a lot because a lot of the young guys I'm real close with. I treat them like little brothers, so I love that role.
Let's cut to the chase here. What's different about this team, and how are you going to be better?
The difference is how we bond off the court as well as on the court. Okay. Like Eric was saying, compared to last year, it's a big change of people being in the gym, working out, attitudes on the court, wanting to share the ball, happy for teammates when they score and make plays. So I'll say our chemistry is a lot better early on.
What about toughness? I know Hugs last year was not real, other than maybe a few guys didn't think you were tough enough. Was that going to change this year?
That'll change a lot. I mean, I'll say we're a pretty tough team. Like, if you watch the practice, you'll think we're really tough. Like, the other day, Jimmy's nose was bleeding. James' arms was cut. Like, we're pretty tough. Came back in practice and finished.
So that's a Hugs practice.
Yeah. This year, yeah.
Who bloodied Jimmy's nose?
Who did? I think Seth. Like, we was fighting for the ball in one drill, and they just started diving on top of him. He hit his face on the ball, nose started bleeding.
I was going to say, Jimmy would have to be on the ground. I don't think
he dove first. Yeah, Jimmy dove first, and they just dove on top of him.
Your game different this year?
A lot different. I would say, I bring the defensive side to the table, but this offseason, I really worked on my offensive game. I'm shooting it better, handling the ball better. I'm really doing what they brought me in to do my first year here, which I didn't do. I just, kind of sat back and, played my role behind Deuce and Jordan, trying to learn, But I'll say last year, with that season we had afterwards, I felt like I could have did more to help. So this offseason, I really focused on my offensive game.
We're joking, obviously, about the toughness and whatever fight, but there is something to that in a game. Maybe when you give up a lead, and maybe in the past you're like, well, okay, but the fight there to get back the lead or to keep the lead or whatever, there's a message in there for the guys, isn't there? The way he wants to play in his style.
I mean, that's where our older guys come in, honestly. Lead the way. Let the youngest guys know what needs to be done. Can't hang our heads. It's a game of runs, so you can't get down. Just kind of like our practice. If you losing, like, we're in there pissed off, like, ready to fight. So I think our practices will definitely translate to the game.
Hugs likes that creative tension a little bit. He doesn't mind that, does he? Guys getting in each other, because that's going to reveal yourself in games when there's tough situations, right?
Right. I mean, we had a lot of altercations in practice already, but it never, left the court. It stayed on the court, not in the locker room after, And I looked at Hugs during one altercation. He was just over there smiling and laughing. So,
Kedry, last year, it was almost kind of like you got thrown into the point guard position last year. Obviously, Deuce had left school early, so
right.
When you kind of look at how that went for you last year, could you just put it in where, was it a struggle? Was it what you thought it was going to be? And have you gone back and looked at the way things are handled last year?
I have I have watched film on last year's games with Coach Harrison. And I'll say it was what I expected, but I'll say I wasn't so much ready for that role or that leadership role being a starting point guard. But experiencing that year and all the ups and downs, I'll say that prepared me for this year to take on that role again and excel in that role.
Evaluate some of the other guys, some of the, especially, not just newcomers, but the guys coming back where they've improved, the new guys. Start with Emmett, maybe. You're the one guy who played with him before, so different than when he was here before, and then go through the others.
Well, when Emmett first got back before we started working out, he was my size. He was skinny, So I was like, I wonder if his game changed, but he's shooting the ball a lot better. He's changed his jump shot, so he's improved in shooting the ball handling. Really, his overall game has improved since he's left. I guess it's the same with me. Like when you go back home, when I get my breaks and go back home, and you play basketball at home, like you get that confidence back. Mm-hmm. So it's like he's excelled a lot. Who else? I'll say Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Jimmy is a force. It's like, and it's not even about like the weight. He know how to move his body around. So I think he's good. Joe Toussaint. He's a smaller me on defense, and it's worse because he's smaller, about the same speed. He's a great point guard, great pick and roll point guard, can make plays, make shots. Eric out, obviously.
He's tough as his rep is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eric like a younger Huggs when it comes to the attitude. So yeah, he's always fired up no matter what it is, what drill. That's on the court and off the court. Like, that's just his personality. I'll say Seth has gotten a lot better. Well, all our younger guys have gotten a lot better because they just practiced against the older guys last year, like on the scout team. So they just played against the starters. So I'll say I think they're ready for this year, honestly. Oh, my God. Playing against Trey last year at Texas, I thought he was just like a post-up big. But Trey can actually dribble the ball, shoot the three, score in the post. He's a real mobile. Like, he could possibly be a 3 if we needed him in that position.
You'd obviously played with Emmett a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I guess he's a new guy, sort of. But there's 8 other new guys
Mm-hmm.
coming in. So, I mean, what's it been like trying to get used to all these new faces, meshing with them, learning how they play, and point guard, you got to quarterback everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, all these new guys in 1 year, what's it been like to get to know them and play with them?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I say we clicked off rip. Like, from the first time playing together, it was like, we want to see each other win. We want to see each other play well and do good. Like, there's no bad energy, no selfish guys. Everybody's a real teammate and just want to win. And for the most part, it's been an experiment, like learning new guys, learning personalities, how they play. And for me, I got to know, like, what everybody like, what type of shot they want and what spot, when to give it to them. So it's been fun, and I actually look forward, like, we're ready to play right now. Like, I think we're ready now.
Let me change the subject for a second.
Okay.
Would it help you guys during games if you were allowed to look at iPads during timeouts and like you see in the NFL quarterbacks are studying the game? Would it help as a point guard? Would it help?
I think so. Like, watching the replay and actually seeing what happened, I think that'll help a lot rather than just hearing it and not really knowing, like, without seeing it. I think that'll help a lot.
Why do you think they don't let you?
I don't know. I don't think Huggs will want us looking at iPads on the sideline.
I think he want you to listen to him?
Mm-mm. He want us to listen to him. All him.
So Huggs always has nicknames. So what the 2 Josiahs? Obviously that could be confusing. Have you guys dealt them nicknames? How do you refer to them?
Well, we gave Josiah Davis. We gave him JD.
Okay.
And Josiah Harris is just JoJo.
Okay.
Yeah, his normal nickname. You just call him JoJo.
Okay. That makes sense. Good. Because it's hard to distinguish. Obviously, they're completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You see something from the freshmen? I mean, what do you think of them?
JoJo, he has a lot of energy, like, every day, from before practice, after practice. Josiah as well, like, with them being freshmen, I'll say, I was thinking, like, after we practice, they'll be tired, but they just go work out right after practice, come back that morning, work out. Probably they're in the gym the most, the both Josiahs. They got a lot of energy.
Oh, they're young still.
Yeah. I told them they was going to probably start slowing down a little bit, but they still going.
You mentioned Joe, and obviously Kobe is a year older now, so it seems like the point guard position in general is in better shape this year than it was last year. I mean, would you agree with that? And just kind of talk about, what kind of shape the point guard position is this year.
I mean, but Kobe, they've kind of moved him over to like a 2 spot because, you know, the 2 upperclassmen point guards, I feel like we'll be fine with just the 2 of us, you know. So, but that position with Joe, it's like there's no downfall when either of us need a sub. Like if one of us come in the game fresh, just like a whole nother house you got to deal with. So I think the point guard position is pretty solid, with Kobe moving over to the point guard spot at times.
Yeah, you got 2 older guys at points. I guess it makes sense to slide him over.
Yeah.
Your 5th year, did you ever even contemplate not using the COVID year and coming back? Did it cross your mind, or were you always set on return?
I wouldn't say I was always set because obviously, you know, school is like not an athlete's dream, but it really just depended on my year last year, if I was going to come back or not, and it was a bad year, so I just didn't want to end like that, so I decided to come back. I saw guys left, and I'm a person, I pay attention to signs, and when all our teammates started transferring into the portal, I was like, that's a sign I need to come back. So I came back and do this again.
See, Hugs is not for everybody. This isn't for everybody. I mean, I'm sure you had options out there. Why come back for another year?
I mean, leaving junior college, I mean, I had grade problems, and when I needed them, they was there for me. So when I saw all the guys left, I was like, I'm not going to be one of those guys. Loyalty is a lot, and they was loyal to me, so I'm going to do another year with them.
Adrian, thank you.
No problem.